Hello everyone, welcome to ZF Game Dev. In this video, we are just going to create the default template for the obstacle and we'll start spawning the obstacles when the game starts. So we have already created the spawn manager, and inside our spawn manager, we have tagged the spawn manager script. So let's first create our basic obstacles. So let's create an empty and we'll call it spoke. Let's reset its transform and it's going to have a spoke movement script attached, so let's create that. And so let's add the spoke movement script, and for the spoke we are going to create a 2D sprite. So let's just create, or maybe where in our scenes, let's create a 2D sprite square and we'll call it maybe wall bottom, and it's already centered at 0 0 0, so it does not matter. We'll attach a box collider 2D component to it, and for the sprite, instead of draw mode simple, we'll use draw mode sliced, and we should have our pixel sprite. The color we are going to use is 0.48 by 5.12. And similarly, we'll need to change the mm, no, we are not going to use our pixel sprite. We'll need to edit our square sprite, which is in this one, and let's start editing it. So doesn't matter what size is it. Instead of splice, let's go into multiple, apply, and we'll slice our sprite. So let's hit apply, and that should be our sprite, and let's attach our square zero sprite, and what we need to do in our square zero sprite. So let's go inside our sprite editor, and for the pivot we'll push it at the bottom center. Now hit apply. So as you can see, now our wall is at this position, and it has a box collider 2D and a sprite renderer. Now let's attach one more wall, and we'll call it wall T, and we'll just duplicate it and position at 5.12. So that's going to be our basic spoke, and we'll also need to create one more, and this one is for the goal. 1.04. So if we go inside our wall, we'll also need to have our box collider setup. So 1.04, 0.48 by 2.08. So this is going to set up our collider, negative 1.04, 0.48 by 2.08. So the colliders are set up. Now here we'll also add a box collider 2D, and we'll position it at 2.56, and we'll set the size to be 0.48 by 0.96, so it fits perfectly, and we'll save it as a prefab. And let's delete the spoke from the scene. We are going to have it spawned naturally, and so many tabs are open right now. Mm, 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 mm. So we have our spoke, and we need to spawn our spoke inside our spawn manager. So let's go inside our spawn manager script, and we'll start mm, on the game start. We'll create a function which is going to subscribe, and it's going to spawn our spokes. So let's start spawning. So it's not going to be much difficult. So let's create a serialized field, and it's only going to need the game object, which is the spoke prefab, and afterwards it's going to private list of game object. We just call it spokes and have memory assigned. And let's also add the on enable and on disable methods. And after having both our methods, let's create our private void spawn spokes, and our it's going to take a dictionary from string to object, and let's call it message. Now inside our spawn spokes, we are just going to spawn 4 objects. Let's create a temporary spoke, and we are going to instantiate the spoke prefab at 0 at identity. And after creating the spoke prefab, rotation is going to be quaternion dot Euler, and inside our Euler we are just going to pass 0 0 negative 90f multiplied by so it should spawn 4 spokes, and we'll need to enable it inside our game manager. So event manager dot start listening. I didn't go inside Visual Studio. Yeah, happens. So as you can see, we just created the game object spoke prefab list of spokes, which is a list of game objects, and just created the spawn spokes function, which has the temporary spoke. And inside our start listening, we are going to start listening to the game start event, and inside our game start event, our spawn spokes is going to listen. Now let's copy this one again. It's going to be spawn spoke, and we'll copy this once again, and instead of spawn spokes, it's just going to call spawn spoke. And after having all of it set up, we also need to set the correct tag. So spoke 0 dot get component spoke movement, and inside our spoke movement we are going to set the set for spoke. And for now we'll just create the method inside our spoke movement. So that is our method, and instead of internal we'll set it to public. And let's go inside our spawn manager, and let's have our score attached. So the score is increasing, we should be able to spawn our spokes. So let's go inside Unity, and let's see if everything's working fine. So inside our spawn manager we have our spoke, and if we hit play, index was out of range, must be non-negative in size of the collection. We forgot to add. So where's our Visual Studio? We forgot to add the temporary object to our scope. So that was the problem. So let's go inside Unity and let's hit play. And as you can see, the spokes are already correctly spawned. We just need to set the correct tags. So for both the walls, we are going to set the tag as the obstacle. And for the goal, we have dynamically set up the tag. So let's hit play first. And then after we'll set the tag and we'll also set it to the method or operation is not spoke movement thrown you not implemented. I don't need the error. Now let's hit play again. So let's hit play and we need to set our goal to be a trigger. Problems happen and now we should be able to move and our rotating too much. Player needs to stop the rotation. Stop, buddy, stop. Inside our constants, we'll set it to rotate and let's hit play. So we failed. There is a high score of 18. I don't know where did I get it. So we have our score increased and why is it not working? Okay, we didn't change the tag. So let's add the script to change the tag. So let's go inside Visual Studio and inside our spoke movement, we are just going to set up the tag. Player movement, spoke movement. So we'll need a reference to the object for which we need to set the tag. First, we are just going to call it center box, and then we have wall bottom and the wall top. It should be easy for now. And we'll just set center box dot tag is equals to constants dot tags dot goal. So it should set up the tag, and inside our player movement script it's going to increase the player score. But where is the but? Inside our update scope, trigger event spawn spoke. Okay, we need to also add the spawn spoke. So let's go inside our SpawnManager, and inside our spawn spoke function we'll add let's first add our spoke, and we don't need anything. And after having our spoke, we are going to float rotation offset is going to be 360 divided by spokes.count, and afterwards v3 spoke angle is going to be spoke 0 dot transform dot rotation dot Euler angles. So this is our angle, and we'll do for spokes.count, we are just going to set spokes of I, and inside our temporary spoke, let's get the temporary offset, and it's going to be new vector 3 0 0 negative rotation offset multiplied by I, and we'll add temp spoke dot transform dot rotation is going to be quaternion dot Euler, and it's going to be spoke angle plus our temporary offset. So this should spawn a spoke, and the player is moving, the score should be updated, and when the game ends, we forgot to add it. When the game ends, we should be have our score updated. So let's also create that. So private void update score takes a dictionary from string to object, and we'll just call it message, and on enable and on disable. Stop listening. So when our game over event is called, it's just going to set the end panel, but we also need to set up our high score. So it's going to be casted to an integer message, and the parameter is going to be constants dot event params dot score. Fine. And next we need to get the high score, and it's going to be inside our player prefs dot has key. If it has the key, then player prefs dot get int, and we are going to get the high score. And I should be inside Visual Studio. Now, after getting our high score, we are going to check if our score is greater than high score. So, if our score is greater than high score, then we'll set the high score to be the score, and player prefs dot set int constants dot save data dot high score to be high score, and master text dot text is going to be success, and high score text dot text is going to be let's copy this once again, else mm, 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 mm. We already got the high score. Instead of success, we'll just call fail, and after that we'll update the number games, and let's copy this. What did I click? And instead of high score, we are going to get the games played. Then we'll increase the games plus plus, and We'll use player prefs dot setting. So update score is also working. And let's go inside Unity and let's hit play. So I think we should have the way a center box is not defined. So let's go inside our spoke movement. This is the center box. Let's hit play and we are inside Unity. Okay. So as you can see, it already spawned 5 spokes. Now we have 6 spokes, and afterwards we should have 7 spokes. So the spawning is also working correctly, and there's also 8 spokes. So success, we have our high score. We are able to get to the main menu, and what did happen? Something got destroyed. I think that should be the event manager. Yeah, the object of type game object has been destroyed. Missing reference subscription. I don't know where did it happen. So if we hit play, there's no problem anywhere. If we restart, there's the problem. Hmm. So spawning is complete. Score is also going to increase, and the problem I'll try to fix it till in the next video. And I think your script should either check if it is null or you should not destroy the game object. SpawnManager.spawn spokes. Get component. Event manager has the event manager script. Spawn manager has the spawn manager script. Game manager has the game manager script. But when we restart, our event manager is going to be inside don't destroy unload. That should be the problem. So thank you guys for watching, and that was it for our spawner. And in the next video we are going to have our spoke spawn like animated view. So we'll do it in the next video.